All right, welcome to the show,
Oh,
PokerPP. You're first, and then the cheese, man. What's going on, PokerPP?
it's working. Sorry, I couldn't get my computer, so I had to use my phone. I got a beer out for you. So
Oh,
happy
fuck.
birthday, man.
All right, I'll get a shout out for you, man. Right on. Emotional damage with the 2. This is RC for sure. I agree, man. It stinks, RC. Right on, man. We'll do a shot. PokerPP, tell me what's on your mind, man.
Well, there's a lot on my mind, but the main thing is I have a group of friends who are all investors. One's kind of like the Buffett type of investor. One's type of like the options investor, and I'm kind of like the squeeze guy, right?
Right, the
And
boomer investors.
yeah. Well, one's a boomer investor, but anyway,
They just
so
buy the ETF shit. Yeah, go ahead.
we always kind of like go back and forth, blah blah blah, and there's just kind of a point where how can I say this? Like everyone's got a reason why they invest in something, right? Like what's your like your go-to? Like there's got to be one go-to that you always come back to when you ever doubt yourself.
Sure.
There's this one like snippet where you just like, I know this play is right. This has got to be it because of this. Like, what's yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
It's primarily 6th Street, man, and the connection with Icon. And then it kind of bounces back and forth. I also get a connection. The thing is with Carol Flatten, right? Carol Flatten comes in the company. People barely talked about her, and then you never hear about her again. She's still involved in this company as well. And the connection with Icon is through Xerox, right? So it's like it's really those two things that kind of that I always come back to, and as well as the standstill with RC and the cooperation agreement. It's really those two things. I mean, it's a multitude of things. It's really not just one.
Yeah, I would agree.
For me, and those collectively for me are just kind of like, all right, I'm willing to ride this thing to wherever this goes. Like, look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm willing to take the bet considering how much is available. And then you take IEP, for instance, right? With COVID, even COVID did knock his stock down to $18. And then all of a sudden he's doing a fucking interview, fucking Bahamas picture behind him, 741 within the fucking video. He moves out of the way, 147 on the clock. People say you're fucking nuts, but someone's orchestrating this shit, man. And you got to be smart enough to pick that shit up. Sometimes people don't have those neuron connections to be able to connect those things.
Well, you got to be looking. I mean,
yeah.
You have to be looking. Like this, a lot of these pieces. And by the way, I didn't say hello to everybody. Michael and Fight. Oh, hello. I didn't mean to ignore you guys. I do want to see what want to see what like your go-to is. But what PP's saying is like it's so true. Like there's so much information out there. It is hard to kind of like go through. There's a lot of shit out there, but you're never gonna see it through like MSM, right? You're never going to find it that way. You've got to like go dumpster diving into Reddit, and you've got to look for the pieces. Yes. And that's the only way you're going to find the truth.
And then you have to go and look at Icon and look at the people he worked with and connect the dots backwards, man. A lot of like rants, right? He's like, oh, like watch my 27 videos of connecting the dots. You can't connect the dots going forward, man. You can do it 100% going back. So the only thing we can do going forward is speculate, right? And that's kind of how it is. So go ahead, Poker.
Agreed. Michael, what's your go-to? Like, what's your number one?
So I actually wasn't digging through the subreddits that anything got me bullish. It was literally a lot of people hated us for a while, but Sugov's interview, the eToro interview, you just, I mean, if they want to watch the interview and just say everything lines up, like find one thing that doesn't line up. And I've been looking for things that don't line up. Like King of All Kings, like messaged me on Twitter really late last night, and I was like out of it, and I'm like, he messaged me Pete's screenshot of it he highlighted 3 words, and it was like shareholders and liquidated and canceled or whatever. And like, I'm not gonna lie, at like 3 a.m, it kind of like got me all like, I was like, what's going on?
Of course. And that's why it's so important to have those those kind of like those things to go back to kind of remind yourself to kind of like get your frequency right again, because there's so much shit coming at us that it's so easy to kind of get distracted. There's so much FUD and stuff. So I totally agree. It's like you will kind of like get off the train a bit, and you're like, whoa, wait a second. Like, let me kind of step back, wait for the information to come out, wait for the people to analyze it. You know what I mean? So
let me ask you, PokerPP, and real quick, Mercurius de Moonwad with the 4747 tip. Happy birthday, PP. Appreciate the love, man. It is my 47th birthday today, man. So appreciate the fucking love, man. What it keeps you holding, PokerPP? You asked us. Why don't we ask you, man? What do you go back and find yourself reading again?
It's again, it's a great question because I really don't know, and it really comes out during these debates. I was listening to the space call today with Sal and
So
that dude who got demolished, and like again,
Rod,
it's one of those
Rod,
things where like you don't really know until you you put yourself in these situations, you listen to these debates, and you like get to that bottom of like why you're here, right? And for me, it's actually has nothing to do with the play. I mean, like all of the play is great, and the more stuff that keeps coming out, you just the picture gets clearer. So it seems like we're on the right track. Like if we were on the wrong track, if we were wrong, man, like as more stuff comes out, you would start to like see the picture falling apart. But
Yeah.
it doesn't happen. It almost just gets more and more defined as it goes. And so that gives me hope. But the one thing that really gets me going is like I like poker. I've always loved poker. Do you guys play poker at all?
Oh yeah, man. Fucking love poker, man.
Dude, I was hardcore addicted to poker like I don't know 15 years ago or something. Like I love it. Anyway, there's this thing called pot odds. And pot odds, maybe you guys know, maybe you don't know, but basically like to make a bet right, the odds have to be correct. Like for example, and forgive me if this doesn't come right because it's really hard to articulate, but you have a coin, okay? It's a 50-50 win or lose, right? So the bet must be a 50-50 bet to be even, right? Like let's say we're gonna flip a coin, PP, and I'll give you $20 if you win, but if you lose, you only pay $1. Like that's
I'll take that. I'll take the bet.
Of course, because the pot odds are in your favor, right?
Damn
but
right.
it's the exact opposite. If you lose, you pay me $20, but if you win, you win $1. You would never fucking take that bet because it just doesn't make sense. The pot odds aren't even, right?
Right.
This play, the upside in this play is ridiculous. I have been hard pressed to find a play that has upside better than this. Like, look, if we're wrong, we're wrong. Okay, we lose our investment.
Yep.
100% loss. Okay, that sucks, right?
Yeah. Right.
But first of all, the odds of losing are pretty low. Like I'm sitting around like 80-90% sure that this play is going to happen.
Yeah.
I'll give it 10%. Sounds about good. Like something could go awry, right? There's always the unknown. You have to let the unknown
walk last moment. But considering we know the strong ties to most likely Icon RC, we know that's not a possibility. If we had no idea and it was speculating, oh, it could be anybody, then yeah, I mean, you have that percentage where it could happen, right?
Yeah, exactly. And but the upside, you're not going to double your money. You're not going to triple your money. Shit, you're not even going to 10x your money. You're probably going to walk out. You're going to retire. So you have this play that like, okay, my buddy, he loves Tesla and he's just hardcore into Tesla. I'm like, dude, like I love Tesla too.
Right.
But how much are you going to win on this bet? It's going to take you 10, 20 years to maybe triple or quadruple your money.
I have a buddy the same way with SPY. I don't get it.
And trying to talk sense into them. And they think I'm crazy. They think I'm just gambling. I'm like, dude, this is not the lottery. Like the lottery will give you $1 billion, but your odds of winning the lottery are also like 1 in a billion, right? Like the odds of winning this play are 80%. Okay, let's play it low and say 60%. Like you got the downside versus the upside. It's just and that just always keeps me in because Ryan Cohen, like that guy, when we see his name, when it's official, when that shit's official, that shit is gonna fucking blow, and we all know it.
What's the last thing that we saw from Ryan? We saw, or one of the last things was that baby picture that said, "This is the last time people were excited to see me," or the last time.
Was that his last tweet?
Well, that wasn't his last tweet, but that was one of the around the time from his sale or before he sold, I believe. I need to see exactly what date the tweet was, but
he's tweeted many more times than that. But yeah,
the good thing about our coin flip though is it's not like a flip we go to infinity or tails we lose everything. It's like heads we go to infinity, tails we go to $7 a share, which is a 20x.
Yeah, right. Because you keep talking about that floor and that. God, I mean,
but like it's not based in delusion, right? It's like literally this is a turnaround plan, right? And it's happening, and you can literally watch it happen. It's all in the dockets, and anyone that's too like the people that are too lazy to read the dockets and actually see the turnaround plan happening and going through all the steps. I mean, I had a diagram up earlier. I don't know if you saw it earlier in the show. And it's like you literally check the boxes. Like they're going right through it. and the stock will go back to its fair value without RC
Absolutely.
at $7 a share.
Yeah.
But then RC will come waltzing in and it will go to freaking who knows
Oh
what.
man, imagine RC and Icon both, man. You got two potential activist investors who can move markets. You got the Icon lift, and you obviously got the fucking RC people who come in. Yeah, so you got a double fucking pump action at that point. I mean, could you imagine people would be fucking falling over out of their seats, man, trying to get money into their accounts to buy this shit at this point, you know?
Exactly. Even at the $7, right? Well, it's not just going to go up to $7 because that's not even factoring in all the shorts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means that it'll go to $7 just on the fact that that's fair value,
right?
And anyone that doesn't see in the market space, I mean, I did some DD on comparing it to Wayfair. Wayfair will probably die. I'm not saying short it, but Wayfair will get killed out by Amazon, and it will just be the brick and mortar of Bed Bath versus Amazon. But it will overshoot that $7 because there's so many. The short interest is so high.
Mm-hmm. Let me just read these off real quick. Beyond Uranus with the 802. Holy shit! Realize, man, what's going on? I can't believe you're fucking up right now, man. It's so late. Appreciate the tip, dude. Sun Devil Rogue with the $10. Zipple, right on. Pretty with the 250 AED. Holy cow, pretty. Appreciate the love. Bring PokerPP back. This is the play. PokerPP, we like what you have to say, man. Why is this your first time coming on the show, man?
I work when you guys are on. I'm working, right now my schedule's just kind of cleared up. I just had a moment. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it today. I'm gonna do it. And I was trying to get on, and my computer's fucking off. But
man, you spit some real shit, man. Anything else you want to add, man?
Well, actually, real quick, I want to.
Go ahead.
So here's what you tell your friends if they know anything about poker. What position are they at the table right now? They're on the freaking button. They've already seen everyone's hands. Okay,
they're on the rail, man. They ain't even playing the fucking game.
Where you can bet the hardest is when you already have the button. So for me, I kind of feel bad, like this guilt, because I wasn't here buying in at $8 or $30 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I literally
neither was I.
25, and
I mean, really I was in, but
average down, right? So I got to play almost, the button, right, where it's like. I got to see everyone's hand and it made sense. And so anyone right now, there's like no excuse not to like put the pieces together and just like actually like take this weekend, grind it out, go through documents, even just the ones that just came out today. Those are all a review of the whole thing. If you read 300 pages, I know it's a lot, but it could be worth millions of dollars if you do that, because it's all laid out for you. You can make your bet seeing everyone's hands.
Well, some people are just too lazy, and they're just like, well, the media tells me it's going bankrupt, so fuck it. Like, it's funny, my brother-in-law, right? He's been tuning into the show, and he actually got into the play because he watches the show. And he bought like a bunch of shares. And it's funny because he texted me today and he was like, hey man, my brother is telling me that, and he sent him like the article where it was like shareholders getting wiped out. I'm like, dude, your brother's don't listen to your fucking brother, man. Why don't you read a fucking docket? Then I sent him the picture.
A hedgy shill.
And like my brother-in-law was just like, man, I just don't know what's happening. It's like, dude, we read the fucking dockets. It literally says in the first paragraph, no kind of security is being affected, and this isn't even a final plan. And then another docket came out today where it's explaining where they're trying to work on something for stakeholders. So I think this is in the bag, man. I think the worst possible thing that can happen is if it is Icon and RC, either one of them walk away from the deal. We clearly know that's not going to happen. We clearly know there's so much value to this company. We know it's a cash fucking cow. And anybody who's smart enough to come in and do this properly and take this company over will make a lot of fucking money, man. All right. So that's just my opinion on it.
And it is risky, and I think that's what I've kind of come to terms with. Like, look, man, like I understand like when to take risk, and like this, the odds are so good that like you're just stupid. It's like the $1 to $20 bet we're talking about, the coin flip. Like you're almost dumb to not take that bet. Yeah, sure, you might lose $1.
Sure,
but the odds of you winning that $20 versus you losing that one it's just a no-brainer play. And it's almost like you got to be okay with risk. And I think maybe just because I play poker, I like gambling. Like I'm okay with risk. Risk doesn't bother me.
Me too, man. Jack the risk fucking meter all the way up. I'm all in. I'll do it.
Exactly. Like that's okay with me. But it's not like that with everybody. And also too, you got to be open-minded, because like again, my friends, like they're real smart dudes, but they just believe I don't know what it is. There's just this barrier of like, yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe.
It's because everything around them is saying that this is a horrible play to put your money in, and they're listening to it. And that's why a lot of people missed out on gains on the early days of like AMC and GME and stuff like that. You know, it's funny because I got into GME right at $80, but you know, that summer prior to that, when it was $2, I was buying a shitload of AMC, man. $2 a share. And then for whatever fucking reason, man, during that COVID shit, I was like, you know what? Fuck AMC. I'm going to get into fucking airlines or whatever. So I sold AMC at like $2. I had a shitload of AMC, dude. And this was before 70. Then, you know, that happened. And I got back into AMC at like 15, rode it up to 70, sold after the top, rode GME 80 to 450, held that shit to $50.
Did you get out?
I paper handed GME at 50 after 450 because I thought the play was done. I didn't understand at the time that all these shills were coming in and just like telling everyone it's over. Oh, we sold. And what I was thinking was I got duped. I was the last guy out. You know, that's what I assumed. I got in at 80, it went to 490, and then it shot back down to, it was February when it went down to $50 a share. And I sold my GME. I was like, dude, I got fucked. Yeah, it was that sharp dip. I got out, and then it fucking rocketed back up to 350 the next day. I was like, God fucking damn it.
I mean,
so it happens, man. To everybody, man. So,
and that might even happen this time. I mean, because like what happened with me with AMC is I bought, this was kind of like my first option play. I bought 10 options for like $30 each. I think I spent like $300. Yeah. When AMC popped, I made like 57 grand.
I believe that.
And I had never seen that kind of money before. And I'm kind of a new investor at the time. So I'm like, holy fuck, this shit's going to keep going because you've done your research. You think, so I didn't sell anything. I rolled over some to like kind of do some leaps, but I ended up not walking away with anything. So this time I've kind of like, okay, look, I'm not going to make that mistake yet. I've set kind of like price points, and, you know, like at certain price points, I'll sell some shares. Because I can't buy, I don't have any. I have a few options, but you can't buy options now. So I've been forced to buy shares. But I'm going to try not to make the mistake again and make sure that I actually do sell, you know, at some certain points, and not just hold for like dump everything at the top. Like, it's impossible. It's just,
it's just hard to gauge it when you believe in the stock so much and it's just approaching these crazy fucking levels and your account's blowing up. It's real hard
it's intense.
You say it now. Yeah. You say it now, but when your account's blown the fuck up, all you're seeing is dollar sign. Yeah, it's dope.
Man, I was staying up because, like, for me, the market's like full. It's from like 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Right.
And I was like with my buddy, we're just staying up all night, just watching the market. Fuck work, you know. Just like when you're caught in that moment, man, it is so intense, and you have to be prepared for that. Yeah. And not only that, you have to be prepared for like the illegal shit they're gonna do. With GME, they just turn off the buy button. What was it? MMTLP? They just did a U3 halt. They're probably gonna pull some shit here.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but like you almost have to expect it. And that's why I've kind of like set these like sell points. Or like, okay, even if I'm holding to like $400, I'm gonna sell some at like 20 just to get something out of it, just to make sure I'm good. And just kind of hit these points. But again, that's my strategy because of what I went through. I'm not telling anyone what to do or anything, but the experience really helped me a bit.
Yeah, like PokerPP, like back in January, right? I bought a bunch of I was really into that Elvis fucking tinfoil shit. I bought up $600 worth of calls. They went to 100K and I just fucking wrote them to zero, man. I was like, fuck it, you know?
And again,
I was about to buy a house
at the same time. If you think about it, though, it's almost a blessing in disguise because I do believe this is the play. I always thought MOAS was going to be GME, and I still hold GME, and I still believe in GME. But I've recently, like when I found your show, I was kind of desperate. Like, dude, I'm looking for. I know BBBY is a thing, but none of my friends are like, you know, helping me out here. I felt really lonely, and I'm like searching online. You see like Morant's rants. I'm like, okay, this is not what I'm looking for. And then I just stumbled on your show, and I didn't know what it was. And then I realized like, oh shit, there's a support group. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
It's just a discussion, man. You know,
it is, and it's a really healthy discussion in my opinion.
Right.
But I guess. Where am I going with this? My point is that like the experience of us losing our money on those calls that is probably practice because this play in my opinion, this is gonna blow up the market. Like you have Carl Icahn and you have Ryan Cohen. These fucking heavy hitters are coming together on this once, and they're keeping it secret because they know.
Well,
like,
hold on. You could possibly have also GME involved, Larry Chang, Brett Icahn. Could you fucking imagine something like that? I mean, we're just talking about two people. Could you imagine 5, 6 big fucking dogs coming in on one giant fucking play? God.
And then you got like the reminiscent stuff, like the Blockbuster, the Sears, right? And like I think ABC talks about this, where he's like, it's like this what is it called, the lift effect or something.
Yeah, he basically says that it will be like an announcement effect, like one announcement after the other, like a stacking effect. Yeah.
I mean, that could be, if that was planned, that'd be just so sick. I think that's probably gonna happen, but I don't think it's planned. I think it's just gonna naturally do that. Like once the floodgates are open, it's over.
Right.
But anyway, so I guess what I'm trying to say is that this is the play, man.
Right on.
You know, we're gonna make it. I have so much faith in this play, and it's just nice to have a community to like actually feel the same way you do.
Cool.
So I appreciate it. I really do.
All right.
And enjoy you guys' night.
You heard it from PokerPP, man. Appreciate you coming on the show, man. Appreciate it.
Cheers, everybody.
Let's get some love in the chat for PokerPP, man. Take care.
Bye, guys. See you.
All right.